And honestly, I think Itoshi Sae is a fraud. What's up everybody, I hope you've all been doing well. It's Animasu here, back with some bluelock content to hold you over for another break. Now don't be mad at the author guys, because he unfortunately has gotten COVID and was feeling unwell, so let's just wish him a safe and happy recovery. In today's video, I'll be doing an in-depth analysis and giving my opinions on the Micheal Kaiser versus Itoshi Sae debate. If you enjoy this video and content like it, then feel free to subscribe to my channel, join the Discord, or just even leave a comment. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching, thank you for the support, and enjoy the video. Now I'll remind you about this now and after the video, but this is just my viewpoint of things, and also another factor, Sae and Kaiser play completely different positions. I'm just taking a look at the feats that they do have, comparing the circumstances, and explaining how I think the two do match up against one another. Starting with Itoshi Sae, he's the genius prodigy older brother of Itoshi Rin. Known as the best player in all of Japan, Sae is also a member of the new Generation 11, as well as Real Madrid's youth team in Spain. One thing about him though, and the reason that the comparison isn't more accurate, is that Itoshi Sae changed his position from striker to midfielder after going to Spain. I guess the professional world was a lot different than he expected, but this does show us the difference mentally between Sae and Kaiser already. Micheal Kaiser himself obviously is a genius prodigy, being a new Generation 11 member himself just like Sae. He's an under-20 forward from Germany who's currently playing as Bastard München's ace and main striker in the Neo-Egoist League. When I mentioned the difference between Sae and Kaiser, I was mainly referring to the depths of their ego. With Sae coming back from Spain chasing a different position, having an entire personality change, and communicating verbally that the pro world was way different than he expected, well, this just shows us that Sae isn't anywhere near Kaiser's level of arrogance and ego, which is shown to us very clearly in the Neo-Egoist League. No matter the opponent or challenge, Micheal Kaiser has continuously shown that he will not back down from his goals. Now there is no argument to this point, considering that Kaiser's ego can't even be tamed by the world's #1 striker and his master, Noel. The reason I'm mentioning this now isn't to give Kaiser a point over Sae, because being filled with ego doesn't directly make you a better player. This just serves to show us the difference in the two's mentalities, and the outcome for both when faced with extreme challenge. Itoshi Sae is most definitely a playmaker type midfielder who controls the entire game when in possession, bringing all eyes on him. With his amazing vision, IQ, and passing ability, Sae is able to use his cold and calculative playstyle to constantly create ideal scoring scenarios for his forwards. Even as an individual player though, Sae has shown that he has an immense threat due to his amazing ability to analyze and break down his opponent, destroying them beautifully. He will play for his teammates and give them plenty of opportunities, but when they fail to meet his expectations, that's when Sae handles things himself. Now he's considered a genius of the football world, practically being a pro already if probably not for the age requirement, but I don't really buy it. Until we get to see how this kid lost his ego to become a striker, he just can't be in the running against the other true strikers of the series, and I can't stand it. Honestly, I think Itoshi Sae is a fraud. I'm just kidding you guys, the Itoshi Glazers can calm down now, but my point still stands that we need to see his backstory already. Sae is obviously a phenomenal player, I just need to know what or who broke his ego and mentality. You guys let me know in the comments too what you think happened to him. As for Micheal Kaiser, he can be described as nothing less than a lethal striker, with world-class finishing due to his special weapon. He only needs a few opportunities, if not only one, to guarantee himself a goal. Being the first to truly show us the depths of metavision, and also bringing isagi intentionally into that domain as well. With Bastard München being centered around him until the inclusion of the bluelockers and kunigami, Kaiser's playstyle and the team itself was focused on few passes into Kaiser's final finisher. I'll talk more about the team's issues later in this video, but as of right now, Kaiser seems to play off the ball more often than not. He's often lurking in the shadows on the field, moving with precision and swiftness to the best possible position for himself. Boasting the fastest right-legged swing speed in the world, he's even recognized by the world's #1 striker. Even though Noel is his master, Micheal Kaiser still sort of views him as a rival or something in his way, showing us further how different his and Sae's egos are. Now the only actual feats that we have from Itoshi Sae are the ones that he showed off in the Japan U20 vs bluelock 11 match. For starters, he had not been playing with these U20 players previous to this match, so it's not like he and them were deeply bonded teammates like the bluelock 11. Speaking of those tap-in merchants though, The Blue Lock players Itoshi Sae faces off against are pretty mediocre compared to the state they're in now, so let's definitely take that into consideration as well. Throughout the entire match, Itoshi Sae didn't just make great plays, he made them with immediate reactions. He continuously showed that he had a 24/7 understanding of the field around him, allowing him to receive the ball and directly move into the optimal play. In high-stress scenarios, Sae was threading perfect passes to his teammates and sending dimes back to back. Even without the help of useless forwards, Sendo, Sae was able to make things happen with purely his own skill, as seen from his insanely accurate and precise goal back in 1:15. One thing to point out though, once again, the defense that Sae is chopping up is comparatively way easier than the teams that Kaiser's facing in the NEL, with the exception of Barca, and Sae is still a new Generation 11 member. Also, only 2 chapters later, the younger brother of Sae, Itoshi Rin, nearly manages to make the exact same goal, so that's just something to keep in mind as well. Sae also shows the ability to continuously swap from a hyper-efficient dribble back into a calm collective pass. Just like Kaiser, he's deadly both alone and with a team. As for Micheal Kaiser's feats and games played, we've obviously had a lot more to go on here, making the comparison a bit more swayed in his direction. We've seen him play in 3 total matches so far in the Neo Egoist League, with his team that has been thrown into disarray. Isagi and his sheep and the Dark Horse Kunigami have thrown their normally efficient system into chaos, intercepting their own teammates, playing selfishly, and denying their teammates obvious goal-scoring opportunities. I mean, the list goes on. Now in the FC Barca match, this is where Micheal Kaiser truly highlights his immense presence, showing off his Kaiser impact ability for the first time. Every movement of Kaiser this match was with efficiency and posed a threat to the other team. Off the ball, playing his bait, positioning for passes, even when Kaiser doesn't have the ball, he's playing at maximum efficiency, which is a trait that all of the new Generation 11 share. Even when alone though with the ball at his feet, Kaiser has still shown to be a threat to humanity, with his immense game knowledge and physical pressure, alongside his deadly finisher. Recognized by even the world's #1 striker, Micheal Kaiser's right-footed kick is a world-renowned ability, with it being the fastest in the entire world. Now as for the Manshine match, Kaiser once again showed off the difference in his skill between him and the current state of the Blue Lockers, by toying with them like light work. The fucking premature defense showing where he blocked Nagi's shot, literally giving the ball to Isagi and taunting him, all just to devour him in the end. The effort that Kaiser's expelled so far seems very minimal to Sae in the U20 game, but honestly it's hard to compare because they both have other intentions in their mind. Kaiser's trying to inflate Isagi's value to crush him and gain a higher offer, while Sae just wants to test these upcoming strikers of Japan to see if they're of any worth or value. I'll talk more about the effort that they expelled later, but I just want to remind you of it now. Kaiser has also scored in all 3 games of the Neo Egoist League, and let me remind you, that number would be far higher if it wasn't for the Blue Lockers and Kunigami. His goal against Italy's Ubers though really showcases his world-class talent, being a super bicycle kick that also nutmegged Oliver Aiku. Now lastly, for the circumstances the two were in, we'll start with Itoshi Sae and his relationship with the U20 team. Although he had no previous playtime with this group of individuals, we have to admit that he played very smoothly with them, linking up and creating many goal-scoring opportunities for his forwards like an amazing midfielder. The captain Oliver Aiku was also a level head of the Blue Lockers already, and the rest of the U20 group were not terrible themselves. Their often lack of ability though to capitalize isn't a tell of Sae's skills, considering that he did switch to a more selfish playstyle later in the game, demonstrating that he could indeed do it himself. As for Shido Ryuze however, it seems like the two were just a match made in heaven, creating super plays and assists left and right. You cannot deny how impressive the two were as a duo, however it makes perfect sense given the level that they were at compared to the level of those U20 ARC Blue Lockers. Now the team that Itoshi Sae was up against compared to the effort that he put in is really surprising to look back and see how weak that the Blue Lock 11 was compared to the level that they've achieved now. Also once again, in Itoshi Sae's second and final duel with his brother this game, he tapped into the flow state and put in genuine effort just to have the ball cleared away from him, resulting in the game-winning goal. So once again, the level of challenge that this environment had to offer for a new Generation 11 member shouldn't be very high. And yet Itoshi Sae was out here getting stalled by Karasu. Anyways, the games and league that we see Micheal Kaiser play in is our familiar and beloved Neo Egoist League. Playing for Bastard München, he's familiar with and well versed in his playstyle and teammates, although the inclusion of the Blue Lockers and Kunigami once again kinda ruined their efficient and fluid playstyle. So not only is Kaiser playing against the other teams that are a higher level of skill, He's dealing with the problem of his own teammates griefing his game, denying him obvious goal-scoring shots very often. I joke about the FC Barca match not counting as well for Kaiser, however we do see him watching a duel between the top strikers in the world this game, keeping up pretty well. That's a lot more than Sae can say for the U20 game. However, apart from that, the Barca game was pretty free to begin with. Now against Manshine City and Italy's Ubers, the level of challenge that these teams are bringing is far beyond that of what Sae faced against the bluelock 11. Kaiser's dealing with isagi with metavision, a rogue kunigami on his team already, and it gets so much worse. Metavision users and maniacs on Manshine City, and the most optimal strategic defense, and the Lorenzo, the new generation 11's best defender on Ubers. Even against these powerhouse teams, Kaiser is still scoring absolute screamer goals that are nothing at all to look over. Not only that though, he's scoring them on defenses like Ubers with multiple metavision users, a new generation 11 defender, and perfectly formulated and practiced formations and counters. Now for my overall personal conclusion, I truly do believe that Micheal Kaiser is an overall better player. Putting forth arguably less effort against higher skilled opponents, Micheal Kaiser has produced some of the best goals in the entire series, even maintaining the respect and acknowledgement of the world's best striker. Demonstrating better off-the-ball movement more efficiently than Sae, he's been able to produce mostly all of his desired outcomes when not being interfered with by his own team. Sae tapped into his flow against Ren and lost 50% of their duels, while Kaiser was facing much higher level opponents and scoring bicycle nutmegs while being fouled. Like I said, I'm gonna remind you guys once again, Micheal Kaiser is a striker, Itoshi Sae is a midfielder. Also remember that Sae has only played one game at low effort against U20 ARC Bluelockers, while we've seen Kaiser play 3 entire games as a lead striker against far different teams. This comparison is not 100% accurate or fair to Sae due to our lack of knowledge on him. This is just more so comparing what we do have to go on. As always, thank you guys so much for the recent support and tuning in. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like it, make sure to subscribe to the channel, join the Discord, and let me know anything else you'd like to see. I hope you all have an amazing day and be safe.